Hey, shakalaka kapow, how's it going, old schoolers? You're kicking it old school, Russell JS, and I'm your host, Russell JS. We are back for part two of the Kiss album Battle Royale. We just went up against, right now as we're speaking, Revenge versus Psycho Circus is currently being uploaded at this time. And now that we've crossed into part two, as you could see in if you haven't, spoiler alert. So watch the video before this if you didn't see it. But everybody else, because here's a spoiler alert in the battle of Kiss Revenge versus Kiss Psycho Circus, Revenge took the win. Now, two Kiss live albums are going to go at it toe to toe. What are we talking about? You wanted the best, you got the best, the hottest band in the world. Kiss Alive 3 versus Kiss MTV Unplugged. And I went ahead and explained in the last video, like how things were looking bleak in the future of Kiss. What were they going to do to keep going after the death of Eric Carr? And, well, again, they went ahead. They did get another replacement, and they did the song for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. They recorded Revenge. They did conventions, and then the next step, other than Alive 3, was doing Kiss Unplugged. And by that time, everybody had an Unplugged show and album. Mariah Carey, Aerosmith, Eric Clapton, Bruce Springsteen, Neil Young, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Soul Asylum, Pearl Jam. Everybody was putting out an MTV Unplugged. So now I am going ahead and I'm going into Alive territory and MTV Unplugged territory. And as usual, if you like the video, if you like what you see, if you're new to the channel, hit a like, subscribe, leave comments in the box down below, and ring the bell for notifications, and tell your friends, your family, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousins, your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your classmates, your roommates, your coworkers, your pets, anybody that likes to kick it old school. So now, without further ado, let's see how these two bad Oscars rank. Let's see who's better than the other, shall we? Okay, in the case of Kiss Alive 3 versus Kiss MTV Unplugged, let's see here. Creatures of the Night versus Coming Home. Love the song Creatures of the Night. Not only do I love the studio version, but I love how this version sounds live. And I've always been a fan of the song Coming Home, which, I love both the acoustic version and I love the electric guitar version. So therefore, they both get a point. Deuce versus Plaster Caster. Yes, easily, I am going with Deuce. I Just Wanna versus Going Blind. I mentioned in the previous video how I do love I Just Wanna. And I went up against It's My Life. But in this case, you know what? Going Blind is my favorite original lineup song, so therefore they both get a point. Okay. Unholy versus Do You Love Me? I sincerely, honestly, and easily have to go with Unholy. I never liked the song Do You Love Me, even the original version. Heaven's on Fire versus Domino. I love Heaven's on Fire, the studio version, the live version. And you know what? I love this acoustic version of Domino. So they're both getting a point. Watching You versus Got to Choose. I do love this unplugged version of Got to Choose. It appeared on, I believe it was Hotter Than Hell, and it also appeared on Kiss Alive 1. And Watching You is a really great, awesome tune. It rocks. So therefore, they both get a point. Okay, here I am right now. The Alive 3 version of Domino versus Sure Knows Something. Actually, you know what? Hey, I take back. All right, I gotta I take back what I said about the acoustic version of Domino. The live 3 version and the studio version rocks. So here's the thing. Yeah, that's getting a point. That gets a point right there, the a live version. Going up against Sure Knows Something, you know what? Sure Knows Something. I love that tune, the unplugged version and the studio version. And let's see. I Was Made for Loving You versus A World Without Heroes. I absolutely dig the concert version of I Was Made for Loving You. I mean, that's one of Kiss's biggest hits right next to Rock and Roll All Night and Beth. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the studio version. I do love the live version because the live version really rocks. That's the way it should sound, not some gimmicky, cheesy disco rock anthem, whatever they call that. Going up against A World Without Heroes. A World Without Heroes is one of my favorite songs. I love how soulful Gene Simmons sings in that on that record. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give I Was Made for Loving You and World Without Heroes a point. Okay, let's see. I Still Love You versus Rock Bottom, the unplugged version. You know, I'm not really a big fan of the song I Still Love You. It's Paul Stanley sounds too prissy, so therefore Rock Bottom Unplugged gets a point. And let's see. Rock and Roll All Night versus See You Tonight. I always said that I love the live version of Rock and Roll All Night, but I'm not a big fan of this version because it sounds very sloppy. And See You Tonight, I think Unplugged sounds much better, so that gets a point. And let's see, Lick It Up versus, again, I Still Love You. I think I gotta go with Lick It Up. I don't know, something about that song, you know, that was their first time coming out without the makeup, and the song still rocks. Okay, let's see. Forever versus Every Time I Look at You. You know, I thought Forever is a really good tune. It's a great track, and I love Every Time I Look at You, this unplugged version. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with Every Time I Look at You. I Love It Loud. And Right Between the Eyes. The live version versus the acoustic version of 2000 Man. You know what? It's a Stones cover, but I always love the way Ace Frehley plays it. And you know, I love the studio version of it, and I love the unplugged version. So guess what? They both get a point in my book. Okay, let's see. Detroit Rock City versus Beth. I do not like this version of Detroit Rock City. It does not do anything for me. It's kind of sloppy. It ended too quick. So I have to go with Beth. All right, and here we go. God Gave Rock and Roll to You versus Nothing to Lose. Oh boy, they're both getting a point for this, and so far they are both albums are in the lead with points. Last but certainly not least, the Star Spangled Banner versus Rock and Roll All Night. Now you already heard me say it here about Rock and Roll All Night. I thought it was kind of sloppy the way they did it in this, but you know, they were going through some hard times. I get it. However, I really do love this live version of this unplugged version of Rock and Roll All Night, especially when it has at the time the current Kiss lineup with the original Kiss lineup. And, you know, the Star Spangled Banner on electric guitar, it's been, since Jimi Hendrix did it at Woodstock, it's been played over many times over. It does nothing for me, so Rock and Roll All Night gets the point. Now, let me go ahead and tally up the points, shall we? Let's see. Kiss Alive 3 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, going up against Kiss Unplugged with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hey, what do you know? Ha ha ha! And you know what? I was rooting for this one. I really was. Here you have it. Here's the winners right here. Right there. Yes. Finally. Now, all four of these albums can kiss and make up with each other, because I'm tired of which of these albums thinks they're better than the other. We determined it, all four of you. Now, that's it. No more debating, no more fighting. All of you make amends. And I hope you enjoyed this two-parter that I put together. Right now, as we speak, I think the first video right now is all the way uploaded, and I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down and upload it. So, wow, you know, this is kind of a record. I've done 3 videos in one day. I hardly do 2 videos in a day, but I managed it, you know? I really did. However, I don't know what happened last week. You see, I did a video that I've got to go ahead and I got to redo, where I went ahead and I put Kiss Black Sabbath Heaven and Hell up against Led Zeppelin Presence. And what happened was I must have pushed the wrong button, because it uploaded, but it only uploaded to private. So I got to go ahead, I got to redo the video. I got to take that video down, redo this one, and then I got to go ahead and put the new one up. And I'm going to be going out tonight probably, so if I get back early enough, I think I'm going to go ahead and do my little tribute to Chuck Norris. You know, like, I'm still lost for words over that. You know, Chuck Norris dying. I mean, wow. Didn't expect that. I mean, the man was in perfect health and everything. I mean, but then again, who knows? Maybe he's going up to heaven to train the angels for Armageddon or something. Who knows? Maybe God wanted an autograph, you know? I like to say he didn't die. He went up to a higher plateau. But I want to make a video, a tribute to him, to Chuck Norris, where I'm gonna do a list of 20 facts about Chuck Norris, my favorite facts, and 5 of them are going to be ones I made up, okay? And I'll let you in the comments box. I want you to, you know, in the comments box when I make this video, I want you to tell me what your favorite Chuck Norris facts are, and tell me which of the Chuck Norris facts that I listed are my own. At any rate, this is your old pal Russell JS, wanting to wish you, you know, keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it chill. Keep kicking it old school. Listen to old school music, play old school video games, watch old school movies, watch old school television shows. Keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it chill. Get you enough of love, get you enough of peace, get you enough of tranquility, get you enough of less chaos, no chaos, less drama, no drama. And always Godspeed. May the force be with you. And shakalaka kapow. And remember to rock and roll all night and party every day. Shakalaka kapow.